सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हर्यातीतरसीवर धगवारिसगुगयिल् अरिवाय्रमि परमात्मन् अरुणाचलरमणन् परिवाल्वुळं मुरुगानल பரனார்ந்திடு குகையார்ந்து அறிவாம் விழித்திரவாய் நிசம் அறிவாய் அது வெளியாம் அண்ணாமலையாய் அடியேனை ஆண்ட அன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாயனக்கோர் குறையுண்டோ குறையும் குணமும் நீ அல்லால் என்னேனிவற்றை என்னுயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதல் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதல் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. ஓம் அதிமதுர சாபஹஸ்தாம் अपरिमितां मोदभान सौभाग्याम् अरुणाम् अतिशय करुणाम् अभिनव कुलसुंदरीं वंदे. ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं. Should chant Gita Dhyana Shloka. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamrutavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayanim Ambhatvamanusandhadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayatapatra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradhipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gītāmrutaduhe Namaha. Sarvopanishadho Ghavo Dhokdha Gopalanandanaha. Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta Dhukdham Gītāmrutam Mahat. Vasudhe Vasutam Devam Kamsa Chanūramardhanam. Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now today we are going to start the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is titled as Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. See, we have seen already that some interpreters, they feel the first 6 chapter is about Tvam Pada Nirnaya. In the Tattvamasi Mahavakya, Tvam means about the Jiva, about myself. Tvam means actually you. So it denotes us. And the next 6 chapters, starting from 7th to 12th, it is Tatpada Nirnaya. About that. That means that Paramatma, Parabrahma, whatever. And then the remaining 6, the last 6, is about Asipada Nirnaya. Asi means what? That thou art. Art means the oneness. So here we are going to see how that is nothing but thou, which is in the heart. So that is how certain philosophers they interpret. Okay. So we are going to start the very new portion, that is the remaining 6 chapters. Here Shankaracharya in his commentary, he gives an introduction also. He says, Saptame Adhyaye Suchite Dve Prakriti Ishwarasya Trigunatmika Ashtadha Binna Apara Samsara Hetutvat Paracha Anya Jiva Bhuta Kshetrajna Lakshana Ishwaratmika. Meaning in the 7th chapter only, we have seen Bhagavan himself revealing about 2 Prakritis. Yeah. Apara and Para Prakriti. So Apara means the lower, Para means the higher. So whatever is the lower is all perishing, and which is almost here can called a Kshetra. And Para means what? Jiva Bhuta, Kshetrajna Lakshana, Ishwaratmika. So the other higher one is Jiva Bhuta means what? That knower principle. So already in the 7th chapter, the seed has been sown for this 13th chapter. So here Shankaracharya says, so he is going to now continue with the same thread of thought. Yabhyam prakrutibhyam ishvaro jagadutpatti sitalaya hetutve pratipadhyate. So these 2 prakritis only are responsible for the creation, sustenance and destruction of the whole universe. Because without the higher prakriti, Jiva Bhuta, nothing is there. The life force, the Chetana, the knower functioning through. And then the other things are what? The instruments, the body, mind and intellect, and the objects in the world, objects, emotions and thoughts. So with this only the whole creation goes on. So the higher Prakriti, that is the knower, Jiva Bhuta, playing through the lower Prakritis, or the spirit playing through the matter, is everything. The world of relative existence. So that is how he is interpreting it here. Tatra Kshetra Kshetrajna Lakshana Prakriti Dvaya Nirupana Dvarena Tadvad Ishwarasya Tattva Nirdharanartam Kshetradhyaya Arabhyate. So there he has explained about that lower Prakriti and higher Prakriti. In the same vein, he is going to start this chapter, which talks about the Kshetra and Kshetrajna. So with this introduction, we will go into the actual 13th chapter. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Athatra Trayadashodhyayaha. Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogaha. Arjuna Uvacha. Prakrutim Purusham Chaiva. Kshetram Kshetrajnamevacha. Ye tadveditumicchami. Jnanam nyeyam cha Keshava. Arjuna Uvacha. Prakrutim Purusham Chaiva. Kshetram Kshetrajnamevacha. Ye dadveditumicchami. Jnanam nyeyam cha Keshava. See, this first verse in the 13th chapter is not there in very many readings. But Gurudev in his Holy Gita, he has given this verse. Even Shidbhavananji, while explaining, he has given this verse. But Adi Shankara has not commented on that verse. So, there is a small sort of a, not a controversy, a difference of opinion among thinkers that this particular verse is not there in the original Bhagavad Gita and somehow it has creeped into the Gita. But others argue, no, it is not like that. It's all auspicious, it's all there, something like that. It's a small sort of a contradiction. So, without this shloka only, there are 700 verses. So, if you include this, 701 actually. So, traditionally it is believed Bhagavad Gita has got only 700 verses. So, this first verse is a bit of a little, matter of deliberation. Now, Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna is now asking Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Prakrutim Purusham Chaiva, Kshetram Kshetrajnam Evacha, Etad Veditum Ichchami. Etad Veditum Ichchami. I want to know now. Veditum means I want to know. Ichchami. I am desirous to know. What I want to know? Prakrutim Purusham Chaiva. What is Prakriti and what is Purusha? See, these two terms are used again and again. So, he wants some sort of explanation for this Prakriti and Purusha. Kshetram Kshetrajnam Evacha. And also, again and again in the traditional Vedanta, the word Kshetra is used and Kshetrajna is used. What are these words? Kshetra, Kshetrajna. And also, Jnanam Nyeyam cha Keshava. Hey Keshava, I want to know what is Jnanam, the knowledge. And Nyeyam means what is worthy of knowing in this world. Nyeyam means worthy of knowing. So what is worthy of knowing? Is Bhagavan only. Is that not so? Other things are all of no use, of no significance. So here he is asking, what is the real knowledge and what is worthy of knowing? So these are all the questions he is raising. But some commentators feel it is out of the place, this question. Why? In the Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavan has completed the Bhakti Yoga, saying that such devotees are very dear to me. Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karunayevacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukka sukakshami. All those points he has enumerated. And such devotees are very dear to me. And those who follow this dharma revealed by me, which is like immortal dharma, amrita, immortal dharma with Shraddha and Bhakti, then they will attain to me and they are very, very dear to me, he said. So suddenly why should Arjuna ask this question? See, if you see the 8th chapter, at the end of the 7th chapter, Bhagavan was talking about few things. About Aksharam, Adhyatmam, Karma, then Adi Daiva, Adi Bhuta, all those things he was talking. And Yajna, all those things. So therefore, it was very, very meaningful when Arjuna raised what is the meaning of all those terms. But here, no mention about Prakriti or Purusha or about Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Suddenly he starts. See, that is why some commentators feel this question is out of place and therefore, maybe, I don't know, we don't know, it might have creeped in late. That's how some people feel. But since Gurudev has given, and Swami Chidbhavanji also is sort of given a commentary on it. Commentary means word by word meaning, we are reading it. But Chidbhavanji also has not included in the actual numbering, He starts the numbering from one only, from the next words only, following the Shankara's Bhashya. So when you, please now remember, when you go back to Holy Gita and study Holy Gita, please always remember there is going to be a difference in numbering. Always. So whenever we study the first verse in the Shankara Bhashya, it is going to be the second verse in Holy Gita. You understand? Huh? In the Holy Gita is going to be second verse. Like that, there is going to be some difference. No, this is number 1. But Shankaracharya starts his commentary only from the second verse of this Holy Gita. So therefore, he numbers the second verse as the first verse. You understand what I am saying? Okay. So, having asked this question, then Bhagavan replies. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramittya Vidhiyate Yetadhyo Veti Tam Prahuhu Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Vidhiyate Yetadhyo Veti Tam Prahuhu Kshetrajna iti tadvitaha. So here Bhagavan says, Idam Shariram. Idam means this. Why? Pointing out, which is very close to us, as this. Idam, this Shariram, this body. Hey Kaunteya, son of Kunti, Kshetramitya Vidiyate. It is called as Kshetram. In English it is translated as field. Kshetram iti abhidhiyate. It is called as Kshetram. It is referred to as Kshetram. Why Kshetram? Shankaracharya, he gives a beautiful definition. Why it is called as Kshetram? He says, Kshatatranat Kshetram. Kshatatranat means it protects you from injury. Why? The skull is there. It's really a very good protection for our brain. Is that not so? So similarly, the rib cage is there. It protects the heart and other, vital organs. So therefore, it is called a Kshetram because Kshatatranat, because it protects from the injury. And another important meaning, this is what is very fascinating. The second meaning is very fascinating. He says, Ksharanat. Ksharanat means it is perishing. Every moment it is perishing. Is that not so? How foolish we are celebrating our birthdays. Why? Every moment we are walking towards our grave. Is that not so? So, if you say, I am now 71, meaning what? You are 1 year. Huh? No, 1 year you are extra, means you are walking towards your grave. So therefore, means it is every moment is perishing. And the third definition, Kshatravadhuva asmin karmaphala nivrittehe kshetramiti. You know why it is called a field? Like in the paddy field, when you sow seeds, and it comes in multiplies, one becomes 1,000, hundreds and thousands. Is that not so? Like that, in this deha only, the karma phala, it grows. Is that not so? Because deha only can do karma, actions. And it gives birth to more and more karmas, because karma phala. The punya, papa, everything. So therefore, in this field only, the karma and karma phala is grown. Therefore, it is called as field, this shariram. What a definition, right? So therefore, this shariram, this body, is called a kshetra. So it is said this way in the second verse, in this verse, but still, he is going to explain what is kshetra in detail. We need not worry about it. In detail, he is going to enumerate what are all included in the kshetra. See, whatever is included in the prakriti, the changing, that is all comes in kshetra only. And who is kshetrajna? Etad yo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. And yaha means one who, veti, who knows. Tam prahuhu, he is called as kshetrajna. Iti tadvidaha. Those who know about the kshetra and kshetrajna, they call that knower, who is functioning through this body and knows the body and also everything else, is called as the knower. Who? Kshetrajna. See, here it is said, Etat shariram kshetram yo veti vijanati, one who knows this shariram. Meaning what? Apada talamastakam jnanena vishayi karoti. So one who knows this body from the feet onwards till the head. So the knower, apada talamastakam jnanena vishayi karoti. So he knows this body. Swabhavikena, aupadeshikena. See, we all know it, na? So, spontaneously, naturally we all know this body. We can see this body. Is it not so? And not only that, also it is told in the scriptures. So this is the body, jadatmika and all those stuff. Vedanena vishayi karoti vibhagaha tam veditaram prahuhu katayanti kshetrajnaiti. So he knows it very distinctly different. Is that not so? The knower is somebody else distinctly different from the known, the body. So he is a knower who knows this body. So why to talk about all these things? Everybody knows. No, we consider this body to be ourselves. Somehow there is this ajnana. So here he is taking so much of pains to explain that kshetram is this body and kshetraga is a knower expressing through this body, one who knows this body. Let us say there is some scratch in the body, then you know immediately, hey, there is scratch. And suppose you are growing fatter, you know it, now I am growing fatter. So you can see your body. So this person who knows this body is called a kshetrajna, one who knows, the knower. See, at this point, I want to explain to you the BMI chart of Bhagavan, of Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. Whenever he conducts Jnana Yajna, he was having always the BMI chart. So he says, Om is supreme, that is our true self. And then down below that he puts V, Vasanas. That is Maya Sharira, that is the vasana, ajnana. Because of that, a lot of vasanas we have accumulated. They come in between the jiva and the God, vasana. So it is put in between. And then he puts BMI. It's called as BMI chart. Body, mind and intellect. These three are the equipments given to the jiva. Is that not so? With the body, we can function in the world outside. With the mind, we feel emotions. With the intellect, we think the thoughts. Is that not so? So BMI, they're the instruments. And then in the third line, not in the second line, I will come to the second line later. In the third line, he gives us OET, objects, emotions and thoughts. Why? Through the body, we see the objects, perceive the objects. Through the mind, we feel the emotions, OE, objects, emotions. And through the intellect, we think the thoughts. So this is actually the world of objects, emotions and thoughts. The world. World, not only objects, emotions and thoughts also included in the world. So the first line, BMI, is the instrument with which the jiva functions, and OET is a field, or the field of objects, emotions, thoughts, where he can gain his experience. And who is this jiva? PFT. In the second line, he gives PFT, the perceiver, feeler, thinker, personality. So with the body, he perceives the objects. With the mind, he feels the emotion. So he is a feeler, perceiver, feeler. And with the intellect, he thinks, so thinker. So perceiver, feeler, thinker, personality is the ego self. That is the knower. And the instruments he has got, BMI, and the objects, emotions and thoughts, the field, all this comes under this field only, kshetra only. So whichever is changing and perishing is kshetra. And whoever is expressing through the kshetra as a knower, he is kshetrajna. And this knower also is not the Paramatma. Because only with respect to the changing world, this knower is born. You understand? Along with the experiences, the experience also goes. In the deep sleep, there is no experience, technically speaking. Now you understand? So whatever we call as the knower or the ego self, whatever, that is referred here as the knower, kshetrajna. So it is very clear, whenever we are functioning in the world, there has to be this world, and the instruments through which we function, all this comes under kshetra. And there should be a conscious entity who is knowing, who is enjoying. So therefore this conscious entity is called as knower. See, he is not pure conscious. We are not talking about the pure consciousness or the absolute true self. Here, intermediate, there is this knower. See, Gurudev in his commentary making it very clear. Because whenever with reference to the world of objects, emotion, you talk about, then you can talk about only the knower. The knower and the known. You understand? Only when you transcend the BMI, the instruments called as the mind and intellect, body, mind, intellect, then this knower loses his status as a knower and he becomes the true knowledge, which is the true self in the heart. So the true knowledge or the pure consciousness is a substratum for both the knower and the known. Both the knower and the known, they rise together in the substratum called as Parabrahma Paramatma or the true self, and they subside also in that only. Like from the ocean, the waves rising and subsiding. The knower and the known both are born together and they go together. It is very clearly explained in the Ulladinarpada also by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. See, if we get a chance, we will take Ulladinarpada sometimes. So beautiful a scripture, Ulladinarpada. Such a clarity you get about everything. So here,
knower is individual as ego.
Individual as ego. But here, different terminologies are used for different purposes. So here Kshetrajna is used, the knower. This kind of discrimination between the knower and the known. Okay. Now, in the next verse, see, we are going to follow only Shankara's Bhashya, so I am going to say second verse only. Holy Gita, it would be the third verse. You understand? So don't get confused. Now, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. The second verse or the second verse in the Shankara Bhashya, this particular verse, that is third verse in the Holy Gita, is very, 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 very important. Mark that and try to memorize that, because that gives a beautiful revelation by Bhagavan. See here what he says, Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi. You please know, I am the Kshetrajna who is expressing through all the Kshetras. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi. Vidhi means please know. The Kshetrajna is Mam, me only expressing as a Kshetrajna. And not only that, Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. See, this is the punchline. Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. I am the knower, expressing through all the known instruments, all the known body, mind, intellect. So here, the Asi Pada, see? Asi means the oneness. Oneness is revealed in this shloka. Very precisely it is revealed. So don't imagine that there is one knower per body or per kshetra. No. There is only one expressing through all the bodies. That is me. So, I am the Kshetrajna. Please understand, I am the, meaning what? When that Paramatma expresses through the Buddhi, he becomes a knower. So, when he says, I am the Kshetrajna, what it means? The knower means, what is expressing through the Buddhi is nothing but the pure consciousness only. See, when it expresses, it has got a different terminology called Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness. But though it is reflected consciousness, it is nothing but pure consciousness only reflecting. See, like this example you will understand. The sunlight is there, and suppose you have a small mirror, and if you show it in the sunlight, extra light would be projected inside the room. Is that not so? So what is this extra light? It is nothing but the sunlight only, the reflected sunlight. Is that not so? So he says, I am the Kshetrajna, means I am the knower expressing through all the fields. Meaning, whenever I express as knower, understand, I am only expressing, I am only expressing as a knower. In every field, in all the bodies and mind. See, the knower identifying with the body mind becomes the ego self, na? And then he says, I am different from you, I am good, I am bad, I am this, I am that. But as the knowing principle expressing through, as a knower, pure knower, it is one only through all the instruments. Because Paramatma says, I alone am expressing as knower from all the equipments. So, because of the Upadhi Beda, because of the body, we have got different bodies. The man, the woman, and the animal body and the human body. And fair complexion, dark complexion, fat or lean or whatever, thin or whatever. Because of the Upadhis, we may appear different. And similarly, because of the mind intellect equipment and the vasanas operating through them, we appear different. As good, bad, or whatever. Very matured, immature, whatever. But whatever is functioning through the Upadhis is the one knower. And that he says, I am the one who is expressing as the knower. Kshetrajñam chapimam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. I am the one kshetrajña who is functioning through all the kshetras. Please know this. So, kshetra kshetrajñyor jnanam yat tadjnanam matam mama. One who understands thus the kshetra and the kshetrajña, he has alone understood everything. Yat tadjnanam matam. That is the real knowledge according to me. Madam mama. According to me, that is my opinion. Whoever has understood the kshetra and kshetrajña, as I have revealed, he alone has understood. Meaning that is the real knowledge. Yat jnanam, that is the real knowledge according to me. The knowledge about the kshetra and kshetrajña is the real knowledge according to me. See, here only we fail actually. We don't discriminate properly. Understand ourselves to be different from all the kshetra, all this which is changing and perishing. That is the body, mind, intellect. Though he is saying only sharira, all the three shariras are included. Stula sharira, sukshma sharira, karana sharira. You understand? So, the discrimination between the self and the not self, that is what whole of Vivek Chudamani is all about. We have seen exhaustively last time. Is that not so? So, we don't have this discrimination. We think I am the body mind complex. And whatever emotions coming in the mind, I am having that emotion. I am happy, I am sad, I am lonely, and I don't have anybody, something like that. But as a self, I am Purnam. I have nothing to worry. Because there is no mind to project anything. But we don't understand that, and we get entangled in the kshetra only. Instead of remaining as kshetrajña and the real self, we get entangled in the kshetra, and then we get caught and we suffer. So one who can really clearly distinguish between this kshetra and kshetrajña and remain as only as a kshetrajña, the knower, and still further, when the knower also, when there is nothing to be known, knower dissolves, and then there is a pure Parabrahma Paramatma. If you remain like that as a self, then you can play in this world, at the same time not get tainted by anything. So that is the central theme of all our Veda, Vedanta, Upanishads. Central theme of everything. Of Bhagavad Gita also. Since we are not able to understand the self in its true essence, always we consider it with the form, with attributes, as God, Ishvara, and as Rama, Krishna, Avatara, and we worship. Those things purify the intellect, and also it is good, devotion. But essentially what? Essentially, the Kshetrajña, the knower, is the one who is knowing through all the bodies and mind. And this Kshetrajña, in essence, is the real self, the Parabrahma Paramatma. So this is what is revealed in the second verse of Shankara Bhashya. I am going to always mention second verse of Shankara Bhashya. So if you understand as third verse of Holy Gita. Okay? Since we have given you only Holy Gita in your hand, that is the conflict. So every time I have to tell now. And for this second verse, that is this verse, Kshetrajñam Chapimam Vidhi, Shankara has given commentary page after page after page. I don't know how many pages now, 10, 12 pages he has given commentary in this book, big book. Meaning, he has raised so many questions from the different philosophers' standpoint. Means different schools of thoughts are there, na? As if they are raising question and is answering exhaustively. Because here comes all the Bheda. The Dvaitis don't accept. How can you say there is only one Kshetrajna through every Kshetra? So, but Bhagavan Shri Krishna meant the other way, they argue. So they don't accept there one Kshetrajna through all the Kshetra. They don't accept. Vishishtadvaita people argue in a different way. So, and there are so many schools of thoughts. There are so many ideas. See, this is the glory of our Bharat Desha. There are so many schools of thoughts and we don't mind it. We have given full freedom. You can think. At the same time, you should have some sort of a clarity and some sort of a path to follow. That according to your Guru Parampara, you should follow. If you have got Guru Parampara, Advaita Guru Parampara, you have to follow that. So that is why we are taking Shankara as our guide and trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. So if you have got time...
Doctor knows about the elements of patient. Suppose pain patients are there. Doctor is knowing about everything.
Every patient.
Similarly, Guru knows about his Shishya. So whether we can say doctor or Guru as a...
Yeah. No, not like that. It will be too much of generalization, not like that. See, that example, the Guru knows about each student, therefore Guru can tell you what kind of path you can follow. So this example cannot be stretched to say that Kshetrajna is a doctor like. No, cannot be. We will discuss it later because then we are distracting ourselves. So, but that is too much of stretched example. It will not fit here. But the only thing you can say is the Guru knows about the different students and their levels, their maturity levels, so he can guide them properly. You cannot consider that he is like a doctor, the Kshetrajna is like a doctor who can, treat different patients. That analogy will not hold good here. Now, moving on to the next verse, third verse in the Shankara Bhashya. Tat kshetram yachaya drikcha yadvikari yataschayat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu tat kshetram yachaya drikcha yadvikari yataschayat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Now here Bhagavan saying, tat kshetram, that kshetra, that field, yatcha, what is that? Yadriksha, how it is made of? Yadriksha, see, to great extent, Yacha and Yadriksha almost similar only. What it is and what all it is made of? Yadriksha, Tat Kshetram, Yadvikari. Yadvikari means what are its modifications? See, the Kshetra means is all the three bodies included, na? I told you, na? So what are its modifications? Vikari means modifications. Yataha cha yat, from what has come? See, yataha cha yat means from which what has come. See, like that. For example, I tell you, from the Akasha, the Vayu has come. From the Vayu, Agni, like that. So from what has come? From the Karna Sharira, all the other two Sharira has come. The Sthula and Sukshma. Something like that. He says from what has come. So, yataha cha yat, all these things. And not only that, saha cha yaha yat prabhavascha, and yaha, one who is expressing through the kshetra, who is that? Kshetrajna. What is his prabhava? How he expresses through the kshetra. Prabhava means what are his expressions through the kshetra. All these things, tat samasena me shrunu. So I am going to explain everything in briefly. Samasena means briefly. Shrunu me shrunu, so listen from me. I am going to explain everything, whatever I have told you now about the Kshetra. What it is, what are its modifications, and not only that, from which what has come out. All those things I am going to explain to you now. Detail. That is why 13th chapter is a very important chapter. And also this Kshetrajna, this knower, one who is expressing through all the Kshetra, what is his prabhava, how he expresses, how we should identify him, recognize him. All these things I am going to explain in this chapter. So if you listen carefully, you will know about everything. 13th chapter. Why? About Kshetra and Kshetrajna, whatever you understand, that is the real understanding. That is the real knowledge. No. So I am going to reveal here in this chapter everything Bhagavan says about the Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Shrunu means, you know what? Now listen attentively. Because most of the time the student's mind may go away somewhere. So the teacher has to say, Shrunu, listen. Now I am going to say something very important. Listen. Our Acharya very often uses this technique. Now listen, he says, means what? We have to be attentively listening. Because mind, always it may go away in his own thoughts. See, not necessarily about the world, even about these ideas the mind may think. It is trying to assimilate, process. But when we are trying to process, we may miss something else. So a good student is one who instantaneously hears and assimilates. For that you need so much of intelligence. If you are taking some time lag between means hearing and understanding, then you may miss the next sentence, next to next sentence. That is why I don't encourage people to write, go on writing. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, you see, Guruji's lecture, people writing book after book. Maybe they can publish it afterwards. How many? See, when you go, some people they feel only when you write it goes into the head. Such manda buddhi. When you write only you can understand or you can register. No. You have to be such a person, when it is uttered, you should go and it should sink in. Or what we can do, all those things are gathered and the mad saying, the cow, after some time it takes everything and what they say? Masturbate, correct. That is the English term. Like that, we have to take it back and then we can contemplate on it. That also can be done. So here, he says, everything I am going to reveal, Shrunu, please listen. And then with that, and then he is praising this knowledge. See, these are all the techniques employed by the teachers. Because the student should get inspired, motivated to listen. So he says, you know what, this is a very, very sacred knowledge. And revealed by great rishis, munis. And all the Vedas, they sing about this only. That is how he is praising this knowledge. Rishibhir bahuda gitam Chandobir vividhai prutak Brahma sutra padheshaiva Hetu madbhir vinishchitaihi Rishibhir bahudha gitam Chandobhir vividhai prutak Brahma sutra padhaischaiva Hetu madbhir vinishchitaihi Rishibhihi Vasishtadibihi. So all the great rishis of the yore, Bahuda, Bahuprakaram, Gitam, Katitam, they have sung about this knowledge only. Bahuda means in different ways they have sung. in different scriptures. Bahuta Gitam. See, only in Bhagavad Mahapurana, if you take, there are so many Gitam, meaning so many hymns, and so many people, different great masters like Kapila Gitam. Kapila, he comes and explains. Hamsa Gita, Bhikshu Gita. Like that, so many Gitas are there. Uddhava Gita. So, everywhere, the great rishis of yore have sung about this only everywhere. About this knowledge, about the Kshetra and Kshetrajna. See, even Patanjali Yoga Sutra, if you see, it is said as Prakriti and Purusha. Same idea, Prakriti and Purusha. And when we were studying, I got more and more clarity about what they were talking. And Viveka Kyati, they say, one who develops the discrimination between the Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti is different, I am Purusha who is different. And one who abides in the Purusha, he is liberated. He attains to the Kaivalya Pada. See? If you see Yoga, this Patanjali Yoga Sutra also, the same idea is expressed. So the different rishis, through different Gitam, through different songs or different expositions, they have sung only about this. And Chandobihi Vividaihi Pratak. See, Chandas means different meters. Chandas they call, na? Chandobihi Vividaihi Pratak means in different Vedas, like Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, these mantras are in different meters, different Chandas. Meter means Chandas. So, Chandobihi Vividaihi Pratak. So, through different Chandasa, only this knowledge is praised. This knowledge is revealed. So, he is going to reveal in the 15th chapter, Vedaischa Sarvair Ahameva Vedya. From all the Vedas, only myself to be known. Myself means the true self to be known. So it is said here, all the great rishis, through all the scriptures, and especially through the Vedas, the Chandas, only this knowledge is revealed. And Brahma Sutra Padaishaiva Hetu Madbihi Vinishchitaihi. See, Hetu Madbihi Vinishchitaihi means which will give you the real clarity. Vinishchitaihi means what? With certainty you know this is this. Vinishchitaihi. Hetu Madbihi means which gives you or which gives rise to Vinishchitaihi Buddhihi. A very firm knowledge about things. So that Brahma Sutra also, that talks about, means Brahma Sutra Padaihi means Brahmanaha Suchakani Vakyani Brahma Sutrani Taihi Padyate Gamyate Jnayate Brahma iti Tani Padhani Uchyate. So even those scriptures talk about the Brahma, it's like Brahma Sutra, etc. There also, this Brahma Sutra is qualified saying that which gives you the Nishchaya, certain knowledge, firm knowledge. So there also, this knowledge was only revealed. So therefore, what I am going to tell you is very important, very sacred, and it is the knowledge, knowing which you are released from the samsara, knowing which you know about everything. So when you look at what are there in the world, you should start from me only. I have got my own instruments of knowledge, body, mind, intellect. And through the body, I see world of objects. Through the mind, I feel emotions. Through the intellect, I entertain thoughts. So this is what is called as Kshetra. Apart from this, what is that? And different people have got different tendencies because of their impressions, vasanas. So all these things come under Kshetra. And Brahmaji said, or the Lord said, after creating the world, I entered into this world. What is the meaning of that? Because everything else is jada sambandha. Without the touch of the consciousness, nothing is alive and nothing is meaningful. Nothing is known. So he said, I entered. In the Upanishad, we are going to see in the next course, the Lord saying, I entered the creation. Meaning, only when the pure consciousness is expressing to the buddhi, he expresses as knower. Then only everything is known. Even the self is known very sukshma buddhya. The reflection of the self is known, and then everything is dropped, and then you abide in the self. So this knower is sung, and all about the known is sung in all the scriptures. When you clearly know yourself to be the knower, in fact, this knower also is not conditioned by the known. This is the idea. See, our Acharya used to explain. See, please understand this. In the pot, there is water, let us say, and the sun or the moon is reflecting, let us say. Even the reflection is not shaking. Why the sun or moon is not shaking? Na? See, the sun or moon in the sky is sort of static. It's just there. So what is actually shaking? You see the reflection to be shaking, but actually the reflection also is not shaking. The water is shaking. And the reflection is not muddy. Only the water is muddy. Therefore it is appearing to be muddy. So even the jiva is not impure. He is not affected. But somehow there is identification. And then we think we are affected. We are impure. See, this idea is very revealing, Even the jiva is not affected. But somehow we identify so much and we think we are the sufferer. We are the enjoyer. And we are the doer. I don't know this. How come it comes into our mind? We don't know. This is called as Maya. There is no reason for us to feel that I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. But somehow we identify the body mind so strongly. And whatever the body and the mind does, we say, I am the doer, I am doing. And whatever the body and mind enjoys, we say, I am the enjoyer. But body and mind cannot enjoy by themselves. Therefore, the intermediately ego self is brought in between. The jiva. You understand? But technically speaking, even the jiva is not the enjoyer or sufferer. So, when you abide, you know clearly that you are beyond all the karma. Kartritva abhimana and bhoktritva abhimana. See, that is what we have to be rooted. See, all the other things are only upasana. Upasana means again telling ourselves. So, everything is offered unto the Lord. I am not the doer. Everything is offered unto the Lord. I am not the enjoyer. I am only just accepting as prasada. This is only a way of educating ourselves. But all these things are not foolproof. When we are in different mood, we are carried away. Only when we know clearly about ourselves, which is beyond our vikriya, beyond actions, then only we are safe. We are rooted in the self. Then nothing can touch. So therefore, here he is here glorifying this knowledge. So all the great rishis, munis, they have sung about this. And all the Vedas, they talk about this. And even Brahma Sutra, that also talk about this. Now moving on to the next verse. That is the 5th and 6th verse in Shankara Bhashya. We are going to read it together. It means 6th and 7th in Gurudev's Holy Gita. Mahabhutanyahangkaraha buddhiravyaktamev cha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gocharaha ichha dvesha sukham dukkam Sangadaschetana dhrutihi Yetat kshetram samasena Savikaramudahridam Mahabhutanyahankaraha Buddhiravyaktameva cha Indriyani dashaikam cha Panchachendriya gocharaha Ichcha dvesha sukham dukkham. Sangadaschetana dhritihi. Yetat kshetram samasena. Savikara mudahridam. So what is kshetra? Here, kshetra means Mahabhutani, Mahanti chatani, Sarva Vikara, Vyapakatvad, Bhutani cha Sukshmani, Stulani, Tu Indriya, Gochara, Shabdena, Abhidhayishyante. So Mahabhutani means all the elements, 5 elements. They are in their Sukshma form first, Tanmatra, and then they become gross. So all these are included in Mahabhutani. And Ahankaraha, Mahabhuta Karanam, Aham Pratyaya Lakshanaha, Ahankara Karanam Buddhihi, Adyavasaya Lakshana, Tatkaranam Avyaktam Yevacha, Vyaktam Avyaktam Avyakritam Ishvara Shaktihi, Mama Maya Duratyaya iti Uktam. Seeing Ahankara means what? To see in a personal microcosm level, Ahankara means what? The idea of I. Similarly, in macrocosm also they talk about an Ahankara. But here, specifically, it is said actually, from the Ahankara only, the 5 elements are created as different from the self because of the Ahankara. See, it's a very, very subtle thing. See, we can't understand this. That is why they say in macrocosm, that is an Ahankara which is creating the total mind, this, that, all those things they say. But if you can really understand, this Ahankara only creates everything. The sense of otherness, the sense of separation, sense of otherness, that is creation, not anything else. So, this Ahankara, the sense of I, Buddhihi and the intellect, and Avyaktam, the unmanifest, meaning where from the Buddhi, where from this Ahankara rises, Avyaktam, Prakriti, Maya Prakriti, and Indriyani Dashaikam cha, and all the 10 Indriyas. What are 10 Indriyas? 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. So all these 10 Pancha che Indriya Gocharaha. What are Indriya Gocharaha means? Whatever is available for the senses, the sense objects. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Ganta. All these things come under Kshetra. And not only that, even whatever belongs to the mind, the Vikara. Vikara means the modification. What is that? Ichcha, Dvesha, the likes and dislikes. Sukha Dukkha, the joys and sorrows. Sangataha. Sangata means the assembly of different parts, which is called as the body. Sanghataha, they say. Where the senses are also kept, organs of action, everything is Sanghata means a collection of all these things. Sanghataha. Chetana. Chetana means what? That knowing principle. Then what is the difference between Chetana and the Kshetrajna, Swamiji? Wait patiently. So here it is included Chetana also. Chetana and Dhritihi. Dhritihi means fortitude. No? Dhriti, we have perseverance. Dhriti, something like that. Yedat kshetram samasena savikaram udahridam. So all this comes under kshetra. Savikaram and also its modifications. Samasena, briefly I have explained to you what is kshetra. So if you think this way, everything is kshetra only. See, Chetana means the intelligence, and Kshetra is the intelligent being. Is there a difference, Swamiji? That is a very, very subtle difference. So, intelligent being has got intelligence. Something like that. We will see the difference and all. So here, all these things are covered in Kshetra. Kshetra, field. Along with its modifications, he explained, no? I am going to reveal everything along with its modification. These are all the modifications.
Modification is vasana.
Modification means vikara. What are all its modifications?
But it's vasana.
Vasana, avyakta, he said, no? Avyakta means unmanifest. Unmanifest means which is not available for the senses to see, but it is there. Through expression we can infer.
You say recollected consciousness we can take.
What is knower then? What is a knower? Knower also reflected consciousness only. Because with all the known, knower is born. See, we will see. We will see in the evening class. We will see.
You were saying that Brahmaji said somewhere that the world was created and then
He entered.
how do we reconcile that with our
See, it's only a sort of a dramatic sort of an expression to show that without him nothing is. See, Upanishads are very, very mystical, and sometimes it's very, what to say, you should not take the real word by word meaning. It has got a very significant, deeper meanings. I understand your problem, what you are trying to ask, because I also go through all those things as an intelligent person. Yeah, then only later we give up, because they talk everything. Like this Swami also talks everything. No? So you cannot reconcile anything.
Swami, that serial electron, mahat and
That is in the macrocosm. That is in the macrocosm. That is right. That is in the macrocosm. In the microcosm also, see, if you think deeply, there is nothing called as macrocosm, microcosm. Actually speaking. That's why Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi doesn't talk much about macrocosm at all. Because ahankara only creates the sense of otherness and sense of separateness. From there comes the world. Actually speaking. We have to think deeply about it. Our Acharyas made it very clear, and I am very convinced, and I could see the light. It is through the ahankara only everything. Because in the deep sleep there is nothing. Where the ahankara, the mind is not there, there is nothing. When the mind and ahankara comes, everything is. Therefore, everything is nothing but the mind. That is how Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi explains. See, when you study traditional Vedanta, and when you come to Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, you get a jolt. Because Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi treats it in a very different way. But that has got a very beautiful approach and deeper significance. And I feel always that traditional Vedanta talks that way because for Manda Buddhi, who cannot appreciate everything as the Manomaya, for them you have to say, yes, the world is there and you are there. And now you see that is Tatpada Nirnaya, this is Twampada Nirnaya, and see is Asipada. All these kind of approach and deliberations are only for Manda Buddhi, who cannot appreciate everything is Manomaya. But somebody can appreciate everything is Manomaya because it's a projection of the mind only, na? See, in Vivek Chudamani also, if you think clearly, what Shankara says again and again, it is projection of the mind only, he says. So therefore, for Uttama Adhikari, this is enough. If it is said mind's projection, it is enough. But for the Manda Adama Adhikaris, they can't. World is solid. And what about others who are living in the world? What about their life? What about their experience? Where do we all meet? All these confusions are there. It is there. I am not saying it is not there. But if you know that whatever you have seen in the dream, everything is false, including the dreamer, then there is no question of individuals and their life, their bandha, their moksha. Everything is constructed on the basis of the jnana, that the self is not perceived as one without the second. Therefore, everything is projected and we are just caught up. When the self is realized, everything dissolves and there is only the self, where all the other things have no meaning. So this is a very Drishti Srishti Vada. This is Srishti Drishti Vada is another thing. That is the traditional Vedanta. Because ordinary people cannot accept Drishti Srishti. Because you are seeing that is world. How can you say that? What about others who are seeing? The others are also part of your Drishti. This way people cannot appreciate at all. That is why Out of compassion only, all the other great Mahatmas have accepted the world first. Okay, there is a world. Then they say the substratum of the world. And then they say the body mind, the Panchakoshas, the substratum of the Pancha, that is which is core of the personality. And then they say that is this. All this, gymnastics, because we are unable to understand it in one go. If you can understand one go, all these things are not required. That is what is my opinion, my understanding.
But the Buddhi is actually impure intellect.
Whatever, impure, are unable to grasp.
Intellect that is not enough knowledge.
Not enough understanding. Intense means penetrating either. See, recently also we had a sort of a debate about this with one of my co-brahmacharya, Swami, who was my co-student in the ashram. He was telling, your Bhagavan has not said anything about Tatpada. He was a traditional Advaita Vedanti. So, about Tatpada Nirnaya, we cannot accept, he said. But I told him, your Shankaracharya says everything is mind's projection, what do you say? And not only that, and when Bhagavan says everything is Manomaya, projection of the mind. There he has destroyed everything. And then when you come closer to yourself, everything else is everything is destroyed. Everything vanishes. So anyway, we have gone and digressed, but that is a good digression only. So all these things come under Kshetra. See, this is how it is. We may think we have understood everything, and suddenly something else comes. Oh, idu irka? Then we try to process it. And something else comes. Oh, idu irka? You process. That is why we go beyond all processing. And then you be in the self, everything is processed. But how to go beyond the self, how to go beyond this mind and buddhi, Swamiji? That is a great obstacle. There you have to work. So all these things enumerated here in these two shlokas, everything comes under Kshetra. So with some more detail we will see in the evening class these two verses, and then we shall proceed to the next verse. And from the next verse onwards, another important topic starts. What is that? What is real knowledge? And what is ajnana? What is ignorance? In a very different way he is explaining, Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshanti rajavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha. When I was studying in the ashram, I memorized these 5-6 verses. What is jnanam and what is ajnanam? So all those things we will study now in the next class. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. See, that is why we have to study Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi in detail. Then you get so much of clarity, so much of depth, and so much of this thing. See, he is Maheshwara. He is Dakshinamurti only, I would say. The depth he gives you is amazing. And in that depth, everything is devoured. Such a depth he gives. But sometimes traditional Vedantis are very, very fanatical, and they get so obsessed with their own ideas, they cannot appreciate Bhagavan. And they have audacity to say that Bhagavan's philosophy needs traditional Vedanta to support. But it's not so. It is independent. It can stand on its own leg. Like Bhagavan, it can stand on its own leg. Anyway.